There are two choices I made in college that I'm not particularly proud of, but that make me grateful for the bold little badass self-centered mofo mastermind I thought I was at the time. The first is when my financial aid refund check was accidentally mailed to me instead of to my father. I chose to see that as a sign from the universe that I should buy a video camera so that I could properly record and archive these, quote, glory days. The days my dad never missed a chance to remind me to enjoy because, as he would say, these are the glory days, Kathleen. Enjoy every minute. They'll be over before you know it. That video camera was the beginning of my passion for capturing and packaging a moment in time. Had I not bought that camera, I'm not sure I ever would have turned down that creative road that led me to produce this podcast. The second was the cover-up story I pitched my dad, so that I did not have to tell him I wouldn't graduate on time. I was never, shall we say, an academic overachiever. By the end of my first semester of college, the tally board on my dorm room door read 75. 75. That's how many classes I wasn't able to attend that semester because, well, I was too busy. Too busy drinking, too busy sleeping, and too darn busy swiping extra portions of macaroni and cheese on my meal card for all my broke-ass hungover college friends. Due to that jam-packed schedule in the early days of my college career, I had to drop some classes along the way, thus leaving me about a semester of credit hours short when it came graduation time. Dad was so proud of his little girl graduating from college. I just didn't have the heart to let him know that I was a jackass. And I still needed one more semester in order to graduate. So I spun a story. Knowing that Dad was a distinguished man, a man of experiences, of capturing the moment, of taking every opportunity to improve yourself while you're young and able. Well, I was young, I was able, and there was still a very important experience I hadn't had, but that would surely make me a more well-rounded, worldly woman as I entered the workforce. And bonus, it would give me the 12 additional credit hours I needed to graduate. So I told my dad I wanted to squeeze the last bits of juice out of college. I wanted to study abroad in Mexico, where I could hone my Spanish skills and get international experience that would surely give me the edge on my competition after graduation. The only bummer would be I would not graduate on time. Instead of May, this career-elevating experience would push me back to December, thus requiring that I graduate one semester late. Hook, line, and sinker, he bought it. I've always felt a little bad for spending another 5 months of my dad's resources making pornographic flip books in Mexican history class and discovering new and creative ways to smuggle weed on heavily armed buses in Mexico. But as it turns out, bits and pieces of the Spanish I was forced to learn there miraculously must have penetrated my young stoner mind because they reappeared when I needed them most, 16 years later in Barcelona, Spain. Welcome to Sabbatical or Suicide. I'm Kathleen, and this is episode 10, Barcelona. So I got to my hostel finally after walking past it about 100 times, and I'm checking in, and I can't find my reservation anywhere. And he looks up my reservation. Thank God I had the foresight to write the stuff down in my notebook as far as my flight and the directions and the address and the confirmation numbers, because I hadn't done that before. And if my phone had died, I'd been in a real pickle. So, 37 years and 3 kids later, I realized that I should write something down on paper and not trust my cell phone. So he looked up the confirmation number and he was very confused. And I was like, oh, God, something's going wrong. I'm stuck in downtown Barcelona at 11 o'clock at night because I had to sit outside in the courtyard and record for an hour. And now I don't know what I'm going to do. And then he said, the thing is, that reservation is under a Leanne. And I was like, oh, right. My friend booked it for me. So we cleared that up. I got my room. The elevator didn't seem to want to stop on my floor, which is floor number 9. It stopped on floor number 10. Oh, shit. And I got off and it looked like a middle school, early high school boys' summer camp exploded all over the hallway. It stank. There's trash everywhere. The place is swarming with boys. Blankets are on floors. It's loud. There's music blasting. And I was like, it's not looking good. I tried to get back on the elevator and press floor number 9. It didn't seem to want to move at all. So I get out of the elevator. I go down to the sketchy stairway and I waddle my behind down to floor number 9. And it's quiet and it's clean and it's red. And I get into my room and there are 4 bunks. Not a table, mind you, but 4 bunks. And, of course, I was hoping that mine might be the bottom bunk. Unfortunately, it's the top bunk, people. I'm sleeping on a skinny-ass bunk bed. All my luggage is up here. And I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm excited to check out Barcelona. And, God, the world of difference between being able to just go up to some old man on the street and be able to say, Es esta calle Meridiana, ¿conoces dónde esté 97 Urbani Ministries? You know, just being able to say that, I know it's not impressive and I probably totally butchered it. Then he's just like, yeah, this is Meridian Street and I think it's that way. And I can understand that and ask that. And it's like, oh, it's so refreshing. I cannot even tell you how refreshing that is. My little bit of Spanish, thanks to Mexico, and the basics are still there, and they're kind of coming back. I couldn't believe I could remember how to say street. Calle. So this is my bunk, and I feel like I'm in college. I really do. It looks like maybe there's one other person in this room at this point. And these beds are small. I'm scared to even look at the shower, but I have a locker, and that's what matters. I was right. There was one other person in the room. 2, in fact. So when you're talking, a good way to do it is kind of hold it to your chin, just rest it on your chin.
Oh, because that's not awkward at all.
So Andrea is my hostel mate who dealt with.
We're sitting outdoors under the moonlight, since we can't see any stars, under this beautiful canopy of trees, having some sangria, some estrella, and waiting for our tapas to arrive, while my dinner mate slowly kills herself 1 cigarette at a time. I'm only killing myself through my liver and my drinking problem.
Yes, bueno. Actually, could you just talk about briefly how we met? Do you remember originally how we met?
When I came into the room and you were sitting on the bunk, was that it? Is that it?
With all my shit spread out.
Yeah. So I walked in and there you were, like literally a ball full of energy. And I was like, whoa, shit. Because literally the night before, there was a girl from Korea who would was super awkward, and she was not very friendly, and she had this weird face mask on that was plastic. It was the creepiest thing in the world. Looked like she was an extra from a Terminator movie. It was freaky. Anyways, this was my introduction to Barcelona.
So you had her the night before, and then I was sitting
Right. You were like literally like bouncing off the walls. I was like, whoa, down girl. I was so tired. You were just balls to the walls, chatting my ear off. You were like going a mile a minute. And I was like, oh shit. And it was funny. When I texted my friends, I was like, yeah, so there's an older woman and a really overly friendly American. Because we always joke about like stereotypes when we were traveling. Obviously, you fall into many of those categories. So it was pretty hysterical when I met you. And I was like, way friendlier than I'll ever be, even when I'm wasted and, needing to find a man. But yeah, you were literally just like balls to the walls late at night. And I was just, I was not ready for it. I wasn't. But I was like, okay, I can see myself having fun with this chick. You fucking freaked me out. But I was like, I could have fun with her. What did you think of me? You probably thought I was a stuck-up bitch. I normally give off that impression.
No, totally not. I thought exactly the opposite. Actually, like, I think you probably said 2 words, and I was like, oh, I'll totally hang out with her. That'll be awesome. But you were clearly exhausted.
Oh, I was so wiped. I was, like, incoherent when I saw you. I was, like, cross-eyed, tired. Normally I say cross-eyed drunk, but I was, like, tired. So tired, I literally was seeing double. I was, like... Didn't even know what I was doing. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So so that's good. So I was on my bed, and it was the first time that I had. Well, I won't bore you with the technical details, but I had all my shit spread out on the bed because I had to.
Essentially, yes. You kind of took over the room. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And you were sitting. Can I just let everybody know on the top bunk? 37-year-old woman, mother of 3, top bunk. Classy.
Yeah, and I've got bruises. I've got bruises to prove.
Are you sure that's what the bruises are from?
So that is Andrea, and she is just what the doctor ordered for me at this point in my journey. A hysterical, wild woman who not only speaks fluent English, but more importantly, she fully appreciates throwing caution to the wind and leaping in to who the hell knows. She appreciates it because she did it, even knowing that most people were going to stamp her crazy and toss her immediately into the bin labeled loony. We'll get to her story, but first, I'd like to introduce you to my other roommate, who I got to spend quite a bit of time with before getting to know Andrea. In fact, I had invited Andrea along, but...
The next day, I get up early and decide to walk around a little bit, go to a few bakeries. I'm not going to lie, I might have had a ham and cheese croissant and a donut and
Keep
a
it
Coke.
on your chin.
Sorry, I'm too quiet. God, you're so fucking bossy. Anyway... So I come back and I see Sandra, right? That's her name. I can't even fucking remember her name. She's laying on the bed. You're getting ready. And you very enthusiastically, yet somewhat paranoid, make the comment, oh, we're going to the beach today. And Sandra was so nice to wait for me for the past hour while I get ready. And I knew that you were not being genuine and sincere and that, in fact, you wanted to stab yourself. And you invited me to go along with you. And my reply was, oh, yeah, I was going to go to the beach today too, but I'm kind of going on my own time today. AKA, fuck no.
But I'm telling you what, my 50-something-year-old roommate is out there swimming like a maniac in the sea. And I'm watching her stuff. And before she was headed out there, she was like, do you want to go in the water first or should I go swim laps or whatever? I don't want to take advantage of you watching my stuff. And I was like, oh, no, go ahead. And she's like, I mean, it could be 30 minutes. And I said, go ahead out there. Go ahead for an hour. It's fine. And I think that woman's been swimming an hour. I'm shocked. She just had a hip replacement 4 months ago. Telling you, the things we complain about. Spain. It's great to see it. And here I am sitting on the beach in Barcelona. overlooking a gorgeous pier with many boats and a rocky peninsula. And I've never seen so many naked boobies in my entire life. Not even if you add up all the naked boobies I've seen in my entire life combined. And that's a lot of naked boobies. And I wish all the beaches in North Carolina were topless. Not because I care to look at all the boobies, but because it's just nice to be naked. There are just these classic Spanish Adonises out here. I mean, with the ponytail and the little hairy chest and the Speedos swaggering along with their tan, fit, gorgeous young bodies. I have to say, all the Speedos kind of take some getting used to, though. Because it's like everywhere I look, it's like, pow, 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 package, package, package. And I can't say that that's my favorite part. I am watching what looks like a stingray out there. Oh no, oh no. And there's my roommate floating on her back. And she's getting closer to the stingray. Oh no, I hope she can see it. Sandra! I just pointed at her to go the other way. She was about to walk right into the stingray. Oh, thank God. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. She's asking me if I'm asking her to get out. No, I'm not. She doesn't know I just saved her life. That is so cool. It looks like, I don't know. It's like some kind of white stingray. I couldn't be 100% sure, y'all. I'm not... I'm really not sure, but hey, better safe than sorry. Oh, and right when I think Sandra's coming in, she just turned around and started doing the butterfly. Back out into the sea she goes. I'm so happy for her. I overheard her last night talking on the phone, and she was so depressed. It sounded like somebody stole her bag with her medications in it. And it's awkward. That's one of those awkward things about sharing a room, is that you don't have any privacy to really have a conversation in there. And so I was on my bed. I had my headphones on. I was organizing data and archiving stuff. And I couldn't help but notice that she was just talking about how hard it is to not feel like she fits in anywhere. And then she started talking about her medication, which was so expensive, which was taken. Somebody took her bag or something. I don't know where. I haven't asked the details because I don't want her to know that I heard the whole conversation. But it was just, it was a little awkward because I hadn't really met her yet. And then she started crying on the phone, just about feeling so down and so sad, and how hard it is that other people don't, how much work it takes for her to smile all the time and act happy. So I'm glad we got to hang out. We went out. She went out with me last night, and she's a piece of work, man. She told me here's a woman in a purple bikini backstroking towards the stingray. Oh man, what on earth? That's fascinating to watch. I can't save everybody on this beach. There's like 3,000 people on this beach, I bet. I'm going to have to go check out that stingray, though, when I go back in, see what that is. Give y'all a little update. Hopefully it can't swim super fast. And my buoyancy will help me carry my body away from it quickly if need be. But anyway, so she told me she's writing a screenplay, and she already wrote one. Oh, yeah, I thought she was coming back in again. Nope, she's swimming back out there. I don't know where she gets all that stamina, seriously. But so I asked her what her first screenplay was about, and she told me that it's probably a 3D animation screenplay is how it would have to be presented on screen. Then she told me it's Alice in Wonderland, a spin on that story. Oh, there's another woman swimming towards the stingray. Oh, it's right between two people. Oh, okay. That is definitely a stingray. There's just no way that's anything but a stingray. Or some kind of sea urchin, sea creature. Wow, man, that is so cool. So she tells me she's doing this. She wrote this screenplay about Alice in Wonderland, and there's lots of animal people in it. And a dwarf rescues Alice from somewhere. And that was all I remember about the first one. And then her second one is a period piece, and I think she said it takes place at the turn of the century, 18th to 19th. And it's about time travel and a person who is having some gender identity crisis. And it's funny because when we first started talking last night when I got there, I mean, I never would have guessed it. I never would have guessed it from hearing her conversation on the phone, that awkward conversation. But then I was like, I'm going to get something to eat. Do you want to go? And she was like, sure. And, you know, you're doing that small talk, kind of getting acquainted. And I gave her a short synopsis about where I am in my life and what I'm doing. And as soon as I said my wife / ex-wife, she was very quick to respond, oh, I'm bisexual. But she hasn't had a lady lover since she was a young gal. And she regrets that. It seems like she really enjoyed that person or that time in her life. So I told her to get on Tinder. Get on Tinder, Sandra. Let that little dwarf rescue you. Hey, Sandra, does that look like a stingray out there? See out there, that white thing floating past the pink boogie board? Do you see it?
I think it's a paper bag, unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong.
What? All of that. Do you really?
I do think it's that, yeah.
Oh, well, that's not nearly as exciting, but I guess it's much safer for the people. That's why I was telling you, move, because I thought the stingray, I thought you were going to run right into it.
Oh.
And in here, I thought I saved your life.
Well, it was lovely that you were here with me and that I could swim and enjoy. Thank you so much for that. That really was lovely.
You're welcome. How was it? How's the water out there?
It's beautiful. It's perfect. It was just wonderful. I love to swim, and I can do it again.
I have to tell you that I cannot believe your stamina, that you could swim, and you were even doing the butterfly for a long time.
Actually, relative to what I usually do, that's not very much, but just getting into my routine, so I'll get back into my full routine. Then I can actually do about 10 times as much as that.
10 times?
Yeah.
Holy cow. You put me to shame. Sandra and I's time together was coming to a close. But first, we went to lunch at a seafood place on the boardwalk, in the middle of which I saw a peculiar happening. Okay, so there is a bunch of these guys with bright yellow shirts on, and one of them is wearing a beautiful red and pink tutu, and he is getting his chest waxed by what looks like strangers. Why are you doing this?
France. Toulouse. Toulouse.
Just my head.
Pourquoi tu fais ça, t'as dit là?
Just my
Pourquoi tu
head
fais ça?
and dead of the life.
The 5
Kind.
September on my red.
This is your dream in life?
Yes.
To wear a tutu and have your chest waxed by strangers?
Ouh là là. Il y a trop de mots là.
Can you repeat, please?
Oh, la radière, il est où? Xav, il est où Xav?
Merde.
So why?
Because he's wedding. His wedding.
Oh, this is a bachelor party.
Yes.
Somebody's going to marry him?
Yes.
Wow. Does it hurt?
Ça veut dire quoi ça? Yes, yes. Very.
You can try.
It's difficult.
You can try, yes.
It's difficult. It's difficult for me.
Does it make you think about all of the sexy women out there who wax their crotches?
Oh, you can? You can?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying that hurts, right? It hurts like hell.
Speak in French, please.
I wish I could speak in French. But it makes you think of all the women who wax their crotches.
Non, mais non.
No, they think I'm asking them if he'll wax his crotch. No, that's not what we're going to do.
Please.
épilada, épilada.
Ciao.
He's asking these strangers if they will wax his chest for him. These sweet girls. Sweet girls. Here he goes.
Oh,
no,
because
es
you.
una forma
Sí,
del
no, no,
pelo.
no.
Qué cabrón. No, así, así.
Oh.
Oh, that is not pretty.
Because he's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye bye.
Every culture has their traditions, but I'm thankful that's not one of ours. I'm also thankful that I had my microphone with me at almost every moment on this trip. I knew that in order to tell the story I so desperately wanted to find when I started all this, that it would be important to capture not only the happenings and the people around me, but also the progression of my own emotional growth and development along the way. Here I sit in the middle of a sketchy downtown Barcelona thoroughfare on a very hot evening, doing just that. Coming over here and sitting down on this bench and pulling out my microphone, I'm trying to do it kind of subtly. I realize I probably look like a total sitting duck here right now. I mean, this is a very urban area, but if anybody comes up to me, I'll just tell them I'm doing a story for NPR, and they better not mug me because everybody's going to hear it because it's broadcasting live all over the world as I speak. So that's my cover. One of my most favorite things that I'm loving about this whole journey, though, is public transportation. Where I live in Durham, North Carolina, a car that I'm driving takes me from point A to point B. And most places that I go locally or even within the state, it's the same way. In America, what I've witnessed from my experience, it's like we pat ourselves on the back because we walk a few blocks to the next bar, you know? And it's no wonder we're all fat asses. I wish that we could get a grip on it in the U.S. and expand those great opportunities that we have in Chicago with the L. I mean, Chicago's awesome. Listen, I love Chicago. I've been in love with Chicago since the summer of 1998, and I always will be. It's my first love city. And I'm thrilled when I get to Chicago to take the L to wherever I'm going and to take the L back to the airport when I can. I mean, come on. Like here, you got to walk everywhere. You got to figure it out. Public transportation takes you around. I probably spend like a fraction of what I would spend in gas and way more than a fraction of what I would spend on renting a car and gas. And I get to get a sense of the people, and I get to trust my gut on strangers that I see, and I get to gain the confidence that you gain when you're navigating public transportation in a totally new place. So I really love this. And the other thing about public transportation that's so wonderful is you have time to have a break, to gaze out the window and think about things and process what's happened and what might happen and contemplate life. And that is something that is gravely missing in my reality and in the reality of most people that I know and that I hang out with. Because we're constantly looking at our phones. The only time that that we have true downtime is like right before we fall asleep at night. And even that, for most people, isn't even there. Riding the trains and the buses, once I get the lay of the land, it is just such a treat to be able to kind of reflect on this experience. And the other thing that I wanted to chat about for a minute is Miss Amsterdam, Leanne, the girl that I met in Amsterdam. And I don't know, I've probably had 3 or 4 serious relationships in my life, but each relationship that I've had was already pretty much lined up and raring to go before my previous relationship was over. And the thing that I'm so grateful about with my marriage splitting up is that we didn't quit our marriage for somebody else. We didn't have somebody waiting in the wings. And that was always one of my fears, that I really thought it was going to take one of us falling in love with or falling in lust with somebody else to kick our asses over that cliff, to end it and move on. And I'm so grateful that it didn't happen like that, even though it was a lot more painful, that it came about organically and that it was clearly a mutual decision to end that relationship. But the reality is, as I'm sure many of you know, that a relationship doesn't end overnight. It is a long coming process. And my relationship, functionally, from a lover, from a flirty, from a fun, from a, adoring sort of reality, has been over for a very long time. I don't know how long, maybe a couple years or so, but it's amazing what we'll hang on to, even when there's just nothing there. And I mean nothing there from a lover standpoint. I mean, I've always said that the difference between a relationship and a roommate is the passion and the love and the sex and the cuddling and the gazing into each other's eyes and rubbing each other's shoulders and doing things that you just don't do with your friends. And quite frankly, if you don't have that in your relationship at all, then either work on it, really start working on it and try to pick it up before it starts going, or when you notice it's starting to be a long time between intimate encounters, etc., pay attention to that, because those periods of time just get longer and longer, and before you know it, you're just not connected at all in any sort of sexual way. And let's be real, we're humans. It feels great to be loved and to be wanted and to be adored and appreciated, right? And so ending that relationship, I was so depressed and so down, and I was of the mindset that I want to be single for the rest of my life. I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in all of the shit that goes along with having some sort of monogamous, committed relationship. I'm just over it. I just want to be alone. I want to be free. But I was just in a place where I don't even care if I never have another intimate encounter again in my life. I really could give a shit. Like, I just want to be free of it all. And then I get to Amsterdam. It's been so rare in my life, at least. I don't know about you guys. I'd kind of like to hear. But where you have that you have that instantaneous attraction, connection. And I may be a lesbian, but it's actually very rare that I am totally, physically, immediately into some cute lady. It really is pretty rare. And so then Leanne and I had this super intense, 48, 36 hours together after that. I mean, it was just brilliant. We were totally open about it. I told her the truth. I was like, listen, I'm not trying to fall in love here. Okay? I'm not trying to start anything. And like I would with some babe that lives across the Atlantic Ocean anyway. That's crazy talk. So we just were taking it for what it was, every moment for just what it was. I mean, I left Amsterdam and I was kind of bummed about it, but kind of like, what are we going to do? We're not going to do anything. It's a total waste of time to pursue this, like whatever. But we did stay in touch, and then that little sneaky huge crush voice came back for both of us. And I broke down and told her, I was like, I'm going to be in Europe for like another 5 weeks. Well, I was kind of fantasizing about maybe you coming and meeting me somewhere. And then she said, I have to admit I was thinking about that too. And so we decided that she will indeed be meeting me at another unnamed destination along this journey. And I'm so excited about it, and she's so excited about it. And we know that it's crazy. We both are totally aware of it's crazy, but we are also both in the absolute mindset of no regrets. Live for now. Let's do it. What the hell do we have to lose? When a connection like this comes along, you don't just shut it down because it's not going anywhere. How about just riding the wave? Here I am in Barcelona, and I have no idea what's going to happen here. I hadn't been on Tinder for a couple weeks just because I wasn't really... When somebody's snaking you like that, you just kind of see their face everywhere, and no other face can match up to it. And that's kind of where I am right now with that. And from what Leanne has expressed to me, she is kind of in that same boat. Ha ha, Leanne. But then I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get on Tinder in Barcelona. I'm not just going to like the cute, hot ones. I'm just going to like all of them and see what happens. I'm just interested in meeting people locally and maybe getting a sense of the gay culture in Barcelona. Let me clarify my thoughts there. I wasn't saying screw it like screw Leanne. Leanne is crystal clear on where I am. In fact, it's a big part of what makes her so awesome and probably so attractive. She gets it. She totally understands. Also, I want to make damn sure I'm not missing the full experience of this midlife, post-divorce, depression-shattering mission. So, I got on Tinder. Not looking for any type of connection other than a tour guide for an evening. Believe it or not, but that's the truth. And if you could see the gal I was about to go out with, you'd have no trouble believing it. She only had one picture. It was like a close-up face picture. I was also kind of curious, like, well, what is your intention on Tinder when you post one close-up picture of your face and absolutely no words? But somehow we got a match, and I took the train down to meet her. I couldn't find her anywhere at the stop. There's a couple different destinations, and it was kind of crowded, and I have no idea what she actually looks like. I'll call her Yoli. I told her that I have long brown hair and I look like a damn tourist, and I would hope that she would find me, but no luck. So I went in this other cafe, managed to get on Wi-Fi. When I did catch up with her on Wi-Fi, she told me to come meet her a couple blocks south, and I told her that I couldn't because I just bought a large beer in order to get on Wi-Fi, so obviously I had to finish my beer. So as I'm paying for my beer and about to go sit outside and guzzle it down, she showed up, and she's this short, chubby, lesbian, pretty eyes, hilarious stories about when she went to Ireland to study when she was 16 years old, and she didn't know a lick of English, and it was just this very torturous experience, and she had to spend one of her holidays at some horrible host family. She sounded like poor Cosette in the Broadway musical Les Mis. Like they were just doing it for the money, right? So she went to this person's house to stay for a week, and all they did was feed her jelly. Just jelly for a week. And this was in 1992. I was really impressed with her English, actually. She reads novels and things in English, which she clearly has a determination that some of us don't have to educate ourselves. And anyway, so I was completely uninterested in her, which I anticipated from the beginning anyway. Like I said, I wasn't going to make any kind of love or anything. So as we're sitting out at this little cafe, she said, by the way, watch your bag. And I have one of these handy dandy little pop-out wire locks. Anytime I stop and sit down anywhere, I lock my bag up because I cannot afford to have somebody take all my sound equipment. But every time I stop and sit down, I lock my bag up with this extension little tiny lock. It's a pretty great investment. so that if some jackass tries to grab your bag and run, then they're going to be the ones with the problem. So she told me to protect my bag, and I had this lock. I said, why? Is that a dangerous neighborhood? And she said, well, people are pretty famous for pickpockets. You know, they just grab something really quick and take off running. You know, I've heard that all over the place on my trip so far, so I wasn't too concerned. I did recognize that I was in a kind of sketchy place. There were lots of drunk old locals around me. I did get a sound clip of them. Anyway, so we were sitting there talking for like an hour or so. And then all of a sudden I hear like running, like super fast footsteps. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And these two teenage looking boys fly by us and they slam into this poor older couple, knock over this lady onto her ass. They literally spun her around and she knocks over on her freaking ass, and they just keep on running. The next thing I know, there's policia coming down the street, 1, 2, 3, and someone's chasing these kids and people are yelling, and it was just this incredibly dramatic thing. I felt so terrible for the old lady. I looked up at Yoli and I said, wow, you weren't kidding about that. It was a little disturbing, so I realized pretty quickly that I was in a neighborhood I needed to be on extra alert, high alert on. So then we walked around a little bit and we went to this wonderful little pub, and I had a Spanish aioli with some fritas. Just this very authentic tapas experience, and it was fine. I really was very much looking forward to getting away from her. She just got one of those really intense personalities. I could tell she's really opinionated, and she's constantly doing like extreme things with her hands, which always, you know, just makes you want to like take a deep breath. So anyways, probably like 12:15, and she walked me back to the train stop, and the train was closed. No train, no buses, no nothing. And she's like, oh, sorry, I forgot about that. And I'm thinking, what? Now I have to walk home by myself at approximately 1 a.m. or so, and I have no effing idea where I'm going. I had to ask about 4 or 5 different people along the way where I should go. And of course, the whole time I had my rape whistle in my hand, getting ready to blow that thing to the moon. I finally found my hostel, and I was so grateful to get there safely. Now here's a warning segment. Warning for some shocking information, a little something that happened to me last night that, again, I find myself debating on whether or not to share it or not, but us humans are suckers for drama. We love other people's drama and crazy things that happen. And if I were listening to this podcast, I'd want to hear all about this little segment.
And you can hear all about the most unpredictable thing I ever could have imagined. Like, truly, ever. In episode 11, Beyond Belief in Barcelona. Also, in that episode, we'll hear much more from the hilarious Andrea, including the story of her own leap, along with a humbling interview with a young man who will surely infuse a bit of true perspective into most of our realities.
How many days a week do you work here?
I work 7 days in a week.
And how many hours a day?
12 hours every day.
How in the hell are you supposed to have a girlfriend working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week?
I'm on Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, and even Twitter, short for sabbatical or suicide. My handle name is Sab or Sue, 1B. SABORSU. Good luck with that. And as always, for you non-techies out there, you can follow the show on my website, sabbaticalorsuicide.com. Thanks so much for listening, and please remember, no matter what is going on in your life, you're not alone. Trust that it's temporary. Who knows? Before you know it, you could be saving someone from a paper bag on a beach in Barcelona. I'm Kathleen, and this is Sabbatical or Suicide.
burp bit.
You seriously need to order another beer.
I know. I'm trying to track down the fellas.
So straight girls are better at this kind of shit?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Do it. Do it, straight girl.
on. Where is he?
Andrea's holding up her finger.
Hold on.
She's
Oh,
trying to get
come
the
here.
eye attention
Oh,
of.
can I?
Oh, she got the attention of the guy. I love it.
Can we just get another Estrella for her? Thank you.
Perfect. Gracias.
Got it. Bringing the straight girl to do the lesbian's job.